crystallization can happen, like you mentioned, looking into the container and seeing it right there, which leads me into, okay, I think this is just going to happen naturally or over time with these systems. What sort of problems arise with a truck? Like, will I know that I have an issue, or will it be something that slowly happens over time? What kind of problems can you have with a truck with a DEF system and this crystallization?
So you will be notified on a lot of these problems, and I didn't have these memorized, so I got them down here. There's some very common OBD codes that pop up, so you might get your little friendly lit up dashboard, and P20EE, P20EF, P204F, P207F, P20E8, and P218F. I won't test you on those later, but we've got them recorded now so you can look them up. Those are very common codes that you get out of the system. So yes, sometimes you will get notification from the vehicle that you're having a problem in the DPF system. And there's a couple different reasons that things could be going on. Other times you're not going to necessarily get a code, but you might notice that you're consuming your DEF fluid at a much greater rate than you're used to. Like one thing I've noticed on our vehicles, I don't use very much DEF at all, and there's some reasons to that because I use good fuel additive, and I'll tell you how that ties together. But when I'm towing, and the heavier load I'm putting on the truck is generally when you start to use more DEF. So uniquely, when I started using our new product, which we'll get into, I've cut my DEF usage down in about half. But that is something to keep your eye on, is the rate at which you normally use your DEF. And everyone's truck's a little different, and the way they drive it's a little bit different. But should you start noticing that it's using it at a faster rate, or sometimes even if it's using it at a slower rate, and you might think, I'm doing pretty good here, but I made no changes. Sometimes that's a sign of like a stuck floater, like we said. You might think you've got more DEF in there, but you're actually using it at the same rate, but you're starting to get crystallizations inside the tank that's giving you some false readings. Same goes with the sensors that are on either side of this, monitoring the flow. They build up with crystals. They start to give you false readings. It's going to start sending signals to the vehicle, especially when you go into regen cycles and stuff like that, that could be wrong. And that's from crystals building up on the sensors. So there's a few things that you will experience as a driver if you know your truck well and you start to see some things different. And also, there's definitely some systems built into these that will give you a dash warning and a trouble code should you have an issue coming.